last 3 presidential election cycles, they, along with Trafalgar, they probably are the best at polling Donald Trump. Well, they now have President Trump and his approval rating at a whopping 55%. That makes him 11 points above water. Here to break down the latest numbers, pollster Matt Towery, Insider Advantage. That is a big number. Now, is this pre-trip, mid-trip, post-trip to the Middle East?
This is all post-trip. You know, I normally do my polling with Robert Haley at Trafalgar, but we were doing a poll from Joe Getty, a senior's State Shield, looking at attitudes about China. And by the way, both Democrats and Republicans want candidates in 26 to be very tough, take a tough stand on China. But we added this as a piggyback to it. And so it's post-trip, literally just finished in the last day or so. And he has really moved. You know, last time we polled, Sean, there was a 10% undecided, if you recall. This was several weeks ago. And I said on air that when you see a large undecided, that means opinion is shifting. And I pretty much guessed it's going to move in President Trump's direction. It did. And now we see him doing well with every demographic. He's doing better with virtually every demographic than he was doing in the election. So he's getting stronger, obviously 55%. And there are other pollsters who polled the election accurately as well, like Rasmussen. They have him in the 52, 53, 54 area as well. So I think the good pollsters now realize that Donald Trump is surging in terms of his approval rating.
Okay, last question, and I think an important one. With this all happening and the economy showing much better signs than anybody anticipated at this point, and then if he gets the one big beautiful bill, the $10+ trillion in committed investment, and energy dominance, once that money starts to flow, what's going to happen to the economy? And if the economy turns, what does that mean for 26?
Well, I mean, I think if the economy turns, as you might describe it, I think 26 would be a great year for the Republicans. Usually it's a bad year. Presidential elections are good years for the incumbent who wins, and then midterms are pretty tough. But it looks like 26 could turn out to be a really good year. Let me just add one thing. With the momentum that Trump has right now, there's always a ceiling for every president. There's a certain percentage who are never going to prove of a Republican or a Democrat, and certainly Trump has his ceiling as well. But I don't think he's reached his ceiling yet. I think the media is going to be very shocked if he keeps rising like this at the level and the power of his political magnet that he'll have going into 2026.
If peace and prosperity drive elections, and you get peace in Europe and peace in the Middle East, both very heavy lifts, and the economy going, that would be the trifecta. Matt Towery, thank you. All right, following his historic trip to the Middle East last week, that saw him deliver win after win for the country, a lot of committed money, trillions of dollars in investments in our country. President Trump has hit the ground running this week. After a phone call with Vladimir Putin this morning, President Trump announced that Ukraine and Russia would immediately begin ceasefire negotiations. President Trump also signed the Take It Down Act today, cracking down on explicit deepfakes. Meanwhile, last night, President Trump's one big, beautiful bill did pass a very key hurdle in the House, setting up a looming chamber-wide vote this week. Now, as I said in both my congressional town hall, my Senate town hall, not everyone's going to get what they want in this bill, but this is what the president wants. This will get us out of the Harris-Biden economy, at least partly, and it will fulfill many of his campaign promises, making his tax cuts permanent. No tax on tips, overtime, or Social Security. It will give money to secure our border and begin building out the next generation of weaponry. And by the way, fix our broken air traffic control system and technology disaster at our airports. Republicans, they've got to come together, they've got to pass it, they've got to advance this agenda, or we will be stuck with Biden's horrific economic policies. Here now with reaction, Texas Senator Ted Cruz. Senator, I think this is vital. Getting the economy on track, peace and prosperity, drive election results. Every congressman, every senator that's up for re-election in 26 should want this passed, because the odds of the recovery going faster are that much greater. Do you agree or disagree?
I absolutely agree, and we're going to get it done. Look, budget reconciliation, which is the main exception to the Senate filibuster, is the principal avenue that we're going to legislate what we need to get accomplished during Trump's first term. We're going to use budget reconciliation to secure the border and to invest billions of dollars in building the wall, hiring Border Patrol agents, hiring ICE agents, using drones and infrared and fixed wing and rotary wing aircraft and detention centers and ICE agents. All of that we're going to get done. We're going to rebuild the military, and we're going to extend the 2017 Trump tax cuts and make them bigger and bolder. All of that we've got to get done. Now, I will say this, Sean. The process is going to be messy. You know, Otto von Bismarck famously said, there are two things you don't want to see being made: sausage and legislation. This will be ugly. There's going to be some guts and bones and entrails mixed in. But we will get to yes, because if we don't, on December 31st, the Trump tax cuts expire and an automatic $4 trillion tax increase kicks in. No Republican in the House or Senate wants that to happen, so I think we will get there, but there will probably be a lot of twists and turns between here and the final destination.